You're constantly consuming this media of people that don't look like you while
Chat. Oh, they don't look like me. Oh, they don't look like me. Oh my God. You sound fucking ignorant, bro. Okay, he got me bouncing back and forth, chat. I don't know if I agree with what he's saying here or I disagree, because let me let him land the plane. Let's let him land the plane. The plane is going, it's like the plane is heading towards the towers and then it swerved away from the towers. Then it's heading back towards the towers again. I'm like, oh, here we go. Allahu Akbar. Then he swerves away. He's like, everybody have a great day on this flight. No, we're going back to the towers again. Like, what are we doing here, chat? Are we going to crash the plane or are we going to land the plane? The truth about black nerds. Antonio speaks. Black nerds. Let's see if I agree with him or not. This might be another Hex Speaks scenario, chat.
Black nerds, aka blurs, is the topic of today's video. Now me, I consider myself a nerd, but some may not. So for example, I love video games. I've been playing them since the age of 7. I've always loved sci-fi films, consumed about every DC and Marvel comic. On the flip side, I'm not into anime. But growing up, I was very into films like Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I guess to some, it would work. So within the black community, especially growing up in the hood, being a nerd or just even consuming the culture will make you stand out. It goes against what's stereotypical for black people. This is a flaw within the black community that I do not like. I say this all the time, but as black people, we are not a monolith. And we got to start respecting that within the community.
Okay, so far he's starting off good. I didn't expect him to have that take. I wasn't expecting him to, based off of his prior videos, I was not expecting him to have that take. Let's see where he goes with this. Let's see if he lands the plane.
I will say this though, I feel like in 2025, being a nerd is kind of cool. Let's say versus the 2010s or the 90s. It is most definitely more acceptable now.
I want to talk about how all of a sudden being a nerd is in and we're erasing all of like that awful childhood stuff that happens to so many of us. Because now it's, oh, we weren't bullying y'all because y'all were into anime. We were bullying y'all because y'all stank. Or y'all were always doing something weird. A few.
Probably true. Probably true. You know those guys that, you all know the kids that were playing with the Pokemon cards at lunch. Smelled. Don't deny it. The Yu-Gi-Oh kids? Come on, dude. Yu-Gi-Oh! How about take a shower, yo?
A lot of y'all were bullying.
I'm so glad I wasn't one of those kids, chat. I never liked anime. I never liked any of this bullshit. There were some nerd things that I liked, but I always kept that shit to myself.
Just for being into different things. I went to many schools with other smart black kids. I love to read, and I got the pants bullied off of me for liking to read in a smart school. I had my black card revoked so often, I'm pretty sure I'm still in black folk debt, because like I don't think I have one. White girl, whitest black girl I know, Oreo, wanna be white, all of it, all the time.
And I'll tell you, like, see, these new age black geeks, they would never understand how it was to be a black geek back in the 2000s and 2010s. Now, that was the trenches. Like,
a black geek activist is crazy. This guy looks like he doesn't shower, though.
I consider myself a black geek activist because...
Look at his hair. Come on, dude. I can't take you seriously if your hair looks nappy as hell.
Back in the day, bro, I had to defend my hobby. Like, y'all don't understand. The insults were crazy. Like, we would be talking about, like, normal, like, crap in front of everybody, and then, like, we would go home on our computer and be having discussions about anime with people online. Like, people don't understand. Back then, most of our anime discussions or geek discussions were, like, were on the internet. They were not in real life. Because if you even spoke about anime, like, you were about to get ostracized real quick.
Now for me, y'all, I did not have these problems, and that's why I kind of think to myself, was I really a nerd or am I really a nerd? But looking back, I was most definitely a nerd, bro. This was me in the 10th grade.
This guy was a nerd, bro. Look at him. You know, when I was in school, chat, I never got bullied, but it's because I camouflaged. And I also grew up overseas, but even when I was in America, in the beginning, I didn't get bullied because I camouflaged. I would take my glasses off. I never wore my glasses at school in public at all. Take my glasses off. I wouldn't mention any of the stuff I like. Maybe this is actually a bad thing, but I never really, was being myself. And ironically, I have a thin voice. I never got anybody bullying me about my voice. On the internet, I guess people have, but in real life, it never actually happened to me.
I mean, I had a 4.0 GPA, was in pretty much all AP classes, dog. I was textbook nerd.
I was the bully.
About it is, As a black nerd, you really just gotta find your group of people. And even just being a nerd in general, I hate this talking point because even nerds in the white community are done the same way. Like,
I got bullied for liking anime, and then I got bullied for wearing anime and an Avatar t-shirt, and like that I liked Pokemon, and that I carried a DS, and I was in bands. Like and I had braces, and
The thing about the nerds, the real nerds, is that they looked like nerds and they were weird. I think that if you had those hobbies and you had those interests and you were just normal looking, you wear normal clothes, you talk normally, you weren't trying to be a little dweeb the entire time, nobody would mess with you. You know, when I was into nerdy stuff, I'd go to school, I'd bring my skateboard, and I would just be a skater kid, and nobody would fuck with me. Nobody ever fucked with me. But the problem with these nerds, we all know who we're talking about, bro. We're talking about the weird kid in the cafeteria. You can't expect people to be friendly to you when you're weird. You say weird stuff. You got weird toys. You're always doing some outcast shit. Like, you're gonna get bullied. I'm sorry. Do better. Get good. Get good. You stink.
I had glasses. There was just so many reasons, and I had short hair. There was just so many reasons to get bullied that, like, getting into Kingdom Hearts was another reason I didn't want to get bullied.
Don't worry, we're gonna make it. We've been looking for clues to find Clay.
Oh, I'm sorry. The clue board? You mean my clue board?
So all those nerds in high school, like the weird theater kids and the anime people.
Hi.
He's the same dude who painted his nails. I know I was Garth, James. That made me even cooler. But what, James, come on, bro. Don't act like you were never a teenager. Everybody knows that when you're a teenager, when you got the painted nails, when you got the spiky bracelets, when you got the fucking the piercings and shit, like, you're the cool guy. I was the cool guy, bro. I was that fucking outcast kid who was cool. They're like, oh, you don't fuck with that guy. That guy's out of his mind. I was that kid. I wasn't the stinky little nappy hair playing with Pokemon cards, little nerd in the corner. I was the bad influence. I was the kid that the parents said, don't hang out with that kid. That kid is bad. He says, yeah, in America, those are weird kids. He says, so you were cosplaying as the school shooter? I guess I was. Yo, Daffy, I really never thought of it that way, but you're kind of right, because I had the Nirvana jacket on. I used to go to school with the Nirvana jacket on. I had a bunch of fucking demonic music and shit. I had the fucking pentagram. Damn, bro. I guess I was cosplaying as the shooter. The trench coat. Damn, dude. He says James got a point there. They are. But Kanai, they're not. Well, I don't know, because I didn't go to high school in America or middle school. But I would assume that the kid who looks like he's the shooter, nobody probably fucks with him. Or am I wrong? Because I don't think you want to be on that kid's bad side. I don't think you want to be on that kid's bad side when he jumps in the PvP server. I'm pretty sure you don't want to fuck with that kid, but maybe I'm wrong.
Weird theater kid, captain of the speech and debate team, anime fan.
You know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with.
Thank God for that, by the way.
So they've grown up now, and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of the world of fucking nerds.
I hate to break it to you, but those effing nerds are not just the Mark Zuckerbergs and Faucis. They're highly successful, influential people, because it turns out hitting the books actually was helpful.
This isn't just a black thing. Maybe the talking points of, you're acting white is that talking point. But as far as you getting bullied or looked down upon, it's pretty much the same way. Kids are mean. Like
I'm actually fucking surprised, bro. I was not expecting him to have this take. I thought he was gonna come in with some fucking crazy, regressive, racist ass fucking take. I'm surprised. Antonio Speaks might be doing better now. He might no longer require that intervention.
People. And with me, I had a different group of friends for like pretty much every situation.
Pleasantly surprised.
Those were like the hood friends. Then when I got to school, me being in like different classes, I kind of met my nerd friends. So I had that group of friends, and I had my friends that was back in the hood. And also I played
On the Rise. Says POD made that song about Scott back in the day. We are the youth of a nation. We are the youth of a nation. I know what song you're talking about. I used to rock that shit, bro. POD. I used to rock those motherfuckers.
sports. I love sports. So, you know, I had my friends for basketball. The one thing I did deal with, though, that I hated was me being labeled a game freak. Like, I just love playing the game. I remember growing up, bro, like, they'll come knock on my door for me to come outside. I'd be like, bro, I'm on a game, and I don't feel like coming inside. Like, you a game freak, bro, get out. But I always felt like it was just, like, with love. Like, they was...
I also never got to play games as a teenager. Remember, my parents were super religious, so I never got to actually fuck around with games.
Joking, but it was with love. And I stated this in one of my second channel videos. I feel like the black community, our love language is joking. So, you know, maybe sometime these jokes were hurting your feelings, but it wasn't like meant in that way. This isn't justifying it, but that's my thought. Anyways, with them already having this backlash from the black community, in return, they end up being very anti-black.
Like, it's not that I didn't want to connect with black people, but I didn't know any other blurbs that like Minecraft. And a blurb put me closer to whiteness, not because I wanted to hang out with white people, but I just wanted to hang out with that like Minecraft. You get...
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Here comes the stupid take. Hey, hey. Here it comes. Here comes the stupid takes. I knew he was gonna come in with some fucking stupid takes.
What I'm saying? I just want to say it is incredibly dangerous.
Then he grabs this weird they-them person as a fucking example of black people trying to get close to whiteness. There is no such thing as whiteness, dummy.
Dangerous to be in close proximity to whiteness no matter what. And the reason why
there is no such thing as whiteness.
I think hanging around with people that like Minecraft and everything definitely ingrains some self-hating attributes to
playing video games, listening to quote-unquote white music, watching quote-unquote white TV, which is all fucking a stupid-ass concept. If you think that way, you're a fucking imbecile. But all of that is just you internalizing racism. But these people, you tell them that, they'll get angry.
It's not because of Minecraft, but it's the proximity to whiteness.
Within a nerd culture,
sounds stupid as hell.
Not a lot of black representation. Just think about it. You're constantly consuming this media of people that don't look like you. While
chat. Oh, they don't look like me. Oh, they don't look like me. Oh my God. You sound fucking ignorant, bro. Ignorant ass takes, man. Look, I knew he was gonna come. Yo, I got too excited, chat. We're halfway through this fucking video. I got too excited. I knew he was gonna have a bullshit, stupid, moronic take.
Hate from the people that look like you, that is going to turn into internalized racism. And I say this all the time, but everything is a alt-right pipeline. And the nerd culture is no different.
Yo, what happened to...
Oh my God.
When did we become conservative? What happened? What happened? We don't like girl power now because it's the feminist agenda? You didn't like Kim Possible?
I saw someone say...
Homie said everything is an alt-right pipeline.
When did the nerd community just become another avenue or pipeline for right-wing grifting? And the answer is simple. The same way that the gym community became just another avenue for right-wing grifting and right-wing content. The same way like dating advice stuff has just become another avenue for right-wing grifting. What does the gym community, the dating advice community, and the nerd community all have in common? It's full of lonely people. A lot of people in the nerd community get into nerd shit because they're lonely. A lot of people start working out because they're heartbroken and they're lonely. A lot of people get into dating advice content because they're lonely. Lonely people are very easy to manipulate. If you find a lonely person and you tell them you're the victim, everybody else except you is the problem, now go buy my course, that's basically an infinite money glitch. That's why it's just lonely people who crave acceptance and a sense of community are taken advantage of just in the way that cults do. Like, it's really not that complicated.
Now, are you stupid? Are you dumb? Do they not see the irony in what they're saying? Do they not see the irony in what they're saying? Am I being gaslit? The exact same stupid take that you just made is exactly what you're doing right now. You're saying, oh, you're the victim. You feel ostracized. You feel like you're being subjugated. You're lonely. And it's because you're black trying to assimilate quote unquote whiteness. But if you come to me and you follow me and you subscribe to my channel and you listen to my takes, you'll be part of a community that wants you. And we will get you ahead of those evil quote unquote white people with their dominant culture. You're literally making the exact same fucking strategic point. Am I crazy? Is that not what he's doing? He's telling people, oh, all of your shortcomings, the fact that you were ostracized, it was because you have internalized hate. But if you come to me, I know the truth. You're literally doing exactly what you're accusing the other side of doing. It's so fucking stupid.
anti-blackness goes up another notch because
Anti-blackness.
a lot of black males in the nerd space feel like black women just hate them.
I'm curious to know if this is actually a thing.
Now they go to the black women. It always goes back to the same point. Every single video that this guy's made is the same fucking stupid points. He's just regurgitating the same points over and over again with a different packaging.
Black women will ignore men that look like this because he's weird, lame, nerdy until he achieves success, then see him with a woman like this, and then all of a sudden label him a sellout. Let's be real, a lot of y'all don't like black women to begin with. Don't matter if you're a D1 athlete or comic book nerd, there's a very small majority of black men that do not like black women. Now, why is that? I couldn't tell you. But at the end of the day, this argument right here could be a little bit valid if we're considering that there are unrealistic expectations for black men, especially young black men in this economy and in this world right now.
Yes, you're the victim. You're the victim. Is that what you guys want to hear? Maybe if I made a channel where I just cater to all the bullshit and you're the victim and you're special, everybody wants you, and it's not your fault you failed at life. It's them. It's another group of people oppressing you, and you're the victim, and come to me, I know the truth, and I'll expose everything for you. Maybe I'd have more subscribers, because apparently that's what people want to hear. Also, that Childish Gambino guy, people always tell me I look like this fucking guy. I don't look like this fucking guy. I don't look like this fucking guy. You guys are crazy.
And there is that stigma of hypermasculinity in the black community. This automatically will make nerds and simps unattractive, and certainly undesirable.
Black girls called you ugly? So do you want me to believe that the white girls called you handsome?
Once again, I did not experience this. This isn't.
We said twins. Nah.
I just feel like it's the way you carry yourself. And also, you just gotta find your, like, swagger, you know? There's a stereotype of, like, the smash bro type of hairstyle. Maybe your lips be crusty. In simple terms, man, you just gotta have game. White nerds go through the same problem while talking to white women. So, like, I hate that correlation as well. And I think what the problem is, a lot of people be holding on to what happened in high school. Whether that be the glory days or those be the bad days. It's been 10 years, bro. We don't care that you scored a touchdown in 10th grade. And
Okay, he got me bouncing back and forth, chat. I don't know if I agree with what he's saying here or I disagree, because let him land the plane. Let's let him land the plane. The plane is going, it's like the plane is heading towards the towers, and then it swerved away from the towers. Then it's heading back towards the towers again. I'm like, oh, here we go. Allahu Akbar. Then he swerves away. He's like, everybody have a great day on this flight. No, we're going back to the towers again. Like, what are we doing here, chat? Are we going to crash the plane or are we going to land the plane? Are we going to crash the plane or are we going to land the plane? This nigga's flying around. He's flying around in circles around Manhattan right now. Are we landing the plane or are we crashing the plane, bro? Are we going to JFK Airport or are we going to the fucking World Trade Center? Which one are we doing?
yes, you may have been bullied in high school, but let that shit go, brother. My entire friend group is majorly made up of nerds. My best friend, this is us when we graduated, he was valedictorian. I was like maybe 4th in the class. Now, he is most definitely considered a nerd. I mean, huge WWE fan, very into anime, loves video games.
He says Rick peaked in high school.
And big shout out to my boy. He just graduated from Clemson University, what, 2 years ago now? We just got off the game a few hours ago.
I feel like a big part of the black nerd experience is going back trying to watch your favorite YouTubers and realizing just how much racist commentary was throughout the entire video. Like, when did Jen calling Michael Jackson a monkey fly over my head? Huh? Or that one try not to laugh challenge where they just straight up said the N-word. Huh? And I really got a bone to pick with Pat Jen because I used to go crazy for some Pat. Like, you can ask around. We used to go crazy for some Pat Jen. Even now with past sobriety, it was a black woman's video that I saw use this hashtag. Yet, okay. And not even just them. Like,
can you imagine having such a victim mentality that you go back and try and find old videos where people are saying racist stuff so you can feel better about yourself because your life didn't pan out the way you thought it was going to pan out. So you got to find a reason why you failed. And that reason cannot be from yourself. It can't be your own actions. You don't want to take accountability. You need to find somebody else to blame. And you say, you know, all the woes in my life, the reason I have low self-esteem, the reason why I don't have any social life, the reason why I can't get a family, the reason why I can't get a job, the reason I have no money, the reason why I failed is because of white people and racism. And I'm the victim. And I've done nothing wrong. It's everybody else's fault, not mine. I'm not accountable for any of the things I've done. Blame it on them, on those white people. It wasn't me. I take no responsibility for my actions. What a fucking cope. What a cope and what a sad existence. And this is why that culture is not going to succeed. If I'm being honest, this is why that culture is not going to succeed. The culture is not going to succeed because you lack the ability to take accountability for your actions. You decided that nothing that happened to you is your own fault. And you've also decided to scapegoat an entire population of people and accuse them of being something, but you don't see the irony that you accuse them of accusing you of being something without knowing you, but yet you do that to other people. It's like, you know, this would be very easy. It would be simplified if you just treated other people like how you want to be treated, and you just treated every single person on an individual bias. It would be much easier. Your perspective on life is skewed in one direction. You've never been anywhere. You've never seen anything. You never experienced anything. You don't know anything. You don't read any books. You haven't tried to better yourself in any way. You just want to sit and sulk and say, oh, we're in this situation because of other people. This is the reason why I have no sympathy for these people. He says, just be like Scott, be racist in 2025, stand on it. He says, Scott, I'm going to be honest, and it didn't bother me, but you got more vids on your channel putting down black people than any other race besides Indians. On the rise. I'm not trying to put down black people. It's the reason I point out the situation is because it's one of the groups that's out here crying and victimizing themselves. So like, and unfortunately, I have to point it out, you know? And it's one that directly affects me and the outcomes of my work, because obviously I fall into the same demographic of people. That's the reason why we point it out. It's not because I have some sort of personal gripe against black people. I'm actually trying to give them constructive criticism, but they don't want to listen.
Other gaming channels and YouTubers too, especially in gaming. And I can already hear the whole, oh, it was a different time argument. I can get that. It's really the
How many videos by other races can you find where they're whining and complaining about being the victims?
fact that black kids really never had a safe space. And I feel like that's...
But when I see those videos, I pointed out too on the rise. It's just they're very rare and far between. They're very rare and far between.
Why it's so easy for them to be indoctrinated into like the red pill pipeline, because it was just small stuff in every single video.
That's the modern day Uncle Ruckus.
For example, like me growing up, the biggest gaming YouTuber in the world was PewDiePie. And you know, I watched his videos, but like, it was something off. I couldn't really connect with him. And this was before he had the whole N-word incident. But it was extremely rare for me to find another black gaming content creator. And this is why I give so much praise to creators like Berleezy, RDC World, Corey S. Kenshin. Because, bro, representation matters. And it's like growing up in these nerd spaces, we rarely get it. And that is why I love that with the visibility that TikTok brings in 2025, I've been finding some amazing like comic book creators that are making pro-black comics for black.
Pro-black comics. Let that sink in for a little while. Pro-black comics. You know, on the rises point, when I see a group of white people, like those white people that made tried to make that all-white community in Virginia, I point it out and I say that's stupid, ridiculous, and racist and ignorant. I do point it out. The same thing has to be done for black people. If you go through life trying to find pro-black content, pro-black, like I want to see a world where it doesn't matter what the person looks like. If the content is good, we support it. That's the kind of world I want to live in. I don't go out and seek content from people that look like me just because they look like me, whether it be good or bad. And I don't watch something that's made by people that look like me that's bad and say, oh, it was good, just to save face. But maybe that's the reason why I'm more successful than a lot of these people, because these people live in a perpetual state of victimhood. Oh yeah, baby, get ready. I'm already ready. I guess I'll put my socks in my sneakers. Put her down. She's sleeping. Just put her out here. Get ready. I'm done. I'm almost done. I'm just trying to do this one video so I can get a clip out of it so I can post this clip tomorrow. No, just put her down. She'll be fine. I'm just trying to finish this video. I'm almost done. It's like 4 minutes left.
Black people, bruh.
This right here is my comic book known as The Black Fist, and this is one of the most popular series in the Battle Chi universe. Let's talk about it. Black Fist takes place in the 1960s. It's about a superpowered alien that piques the interest of a KKK Grand Wizard that fears he is a danger to the world and to his community.
Do you see what I mean here, chat? Look at the first example that he uses of pro-black content. A superhero who fights the KKK. Why do you have to go back to that? Why do you have to go back to that? Why can't it be a black superhero who just happens to be black? Nobody notices that he's black. Nobody cares that he's black. He just happens to be black. And he just does normal people stuff. You're hyper-focused on your race. And as long as you're hyper-focused on your race, you're going to get people that are going to be attacking you. If you try to separate yourself from the main group of people, the main culture, and you try to have your own separate little culture over here, you're going to be attacked. You always will be attacked. That's the reason why Jews get attacked everywhere they go. Do you think that Jews are doing something crazy, something nefarious? No, they probably aren't. The reason they get attacked is because they isolate themselves. They've separated themselves from the rest of the community. Whenever you separate yourself from the community, it breeds division. It breeds suspicion. It breeds people that are going to have you as an enemy. So you can continue down this path and continue trying to do this, and you're going to get people that are going to look at you sideways and be like, what the hell are these people on? It's never going to work. You need to assimilate into the mainstream culture. You're missing my point on the rise. My point is that in the big 2025, if you're trying to separate yourself and you're making quote unquote pro-black content that hyper focuses on the race and race issues, you're going to stir the pot and you're going to get more people against you than for you.
I made a comic book. This is it. It's called Astro's Falter. Astros is a supernatural, somewhat horror-themed comic series with a comedic and cozy twist. The story takes place in this timeline and in this universe.
And you can't complain about all of the content only having one demographic of people, and then you go make something and it only has one demographic of people. Because you're just doing the opposite, the same thing, but on the opposite side that you're complaining about. He says, respect for taking on tough topics. That I'm not on the rise. I want to see more movies and TV shows and cartoons that have black people in them as the main character, maybe protagonist, but I don't want it to be about blackness. Don't even mention their race. They're just normal people. They're just normal people. And have a diverse cast. The problem is you're trying to do the same thing that white people have done, but on the opposite side of the coin. Because the truth is that these people, they don't want equality, bro. I've said it a bunch of times. They're not advocating for equality. They're advocating for supremacy. And the problem I have with a lot of these black activists is that they're not hurt or sad because they were persecuted or enslaved. No, they want to do the same thing, but on the opposite side. If you gave them all the power and control over the world, they would go out and they would enslave other people. They would abuse other people. They would do the exact same thing that happened to them to the other side. That's the problem I have with it. It's disingenuous. You're not trying to be treated as an equal. You're not trying to assimilate into culture. You're trying to be superior. And that's the problem I have with it. And if you really hear their rhetoric and you listen to them, they don't even hide it. They literally say it. They're angry. They want vengeance. And the truth is, let's say maybe they succeed. It's not going to make the world better. It's not going. All it's going to do is breed more hatred. Let's say that in 1,000 years, the majority of people on the earth, on the planet, are black, and they get power and they have all the technology and they subjugate the white people that are left and the Asian people that are left. All that's going to do is going to make those people become just as hateful as they are, and it's just going to be a cycle of hate. A cycle of hate that's never going to end. The only way you break that cycle of hate is if you assimilate and you make a unified culture. We're never going to get out of this problem if we don't have a unified culture. That's my take. If you want to summarize this in a clean, quick soundbite, if you want to summarize this in a quick, clean soundbite, that's my take. My take is that if we do not have a unified, singular culture where everybody participates equally, then we're never going to get out of this cycle of hate. There will always be some person who's the victim, and that person will have hate, and they'll spread that hate to their children, and their children will pass it to their children, and their children will pass it to their children until they get the opportunity to get the vengeance that they want. He says every group would do that, though. Well, then we're fucked. Then we're fucked as a species, Daffy.
It's a story about a girl who spends her entire life training against the invisible demons that roam our world, all before the magical seal keeping her invulnerable to demons begins to disappear.
Now, I ended up making a post on my Instagram. Make sure y'all go follow this, by the way. And I was curious on what was my black nerd's experience.
Being a black nerd was some crazy plot progression. If you liked any type of anime, niggas were going to fry your shit alive. And the crazy thing about it is the same people that would be trying to clown you would be the same people trying to be in group projects with you and the same people trying to copy answers. But I'm not gonna lie, going to college was probably the best decision I ever made, bro, because I found my community here. There's a bunch of black nerds here, and we've shared things with each other, and, you know, I feel welcomed. I don't feel judged or anything like that, man. And, you know, people are a lot more accepting here. But to be honest with you, man, I've absolutely loved the journey. Like, this upcoming spring, 2026, I'm graduating with my bachelor's of science in psychology, bro, and we're going to med school after that. So to all my black nerds out there, don't be afraid to be you, bro.
We really need to talk about the hatred for black women in the black nerd community, because a lot of black nerds, they like hang with white nerds, of course, and they want to be accepted by them. So then they just start shitting on black women and be like, yeah, they're ghetto, and just start talking shit about them, right? And then also talk bad about women in general. A lot of nerds, they can't get girls, so you gotta talk shit about them. And also, along with the red pill community, because a lot of the nerds, they want to get their anime physique, so they start watching those workout videos. And
anime physique.
Videos turn into how to get girls.
What a rabbit hole.
Also turns into hating women videos.
My experience of being a black nerd is a bit different from other people, not only because of the era that I grew up in, but also because of the environment. With me being a 2000s kid, I was never really feeling ostracized for being a nerd because nerdy shit was everywhere. Now I'm an inner city kid. I grew up in lower income neighborhoods, and there were a lot of black folks within those neighborhoods. So a lot of us bonded over these things that would be looked at as nerdy. There's a reason that schools would ban Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There's a reason schools would ban all the Bakugan toys and Beyblades. And I'm sure every kid that grew up in the 2000s had that feeling of watching a cartoon on Saturday morning and holding in that excitement when Monday came. Everyone couldn't wait to gather around the lunch table and talk about the latest episode of Dragon Ball or Sonic X or whatever was on Saturday morning at that time. But what I'm trying to get at is there was never really a point in time where being a nerd worked against me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit of a social butterfly. I would hang with the theater kids, I would hang with the anime nerds, the music heads that would rap at the lunch tables. I was bouncing around and talking to everybody. I can't really think of a point in time where liking anime or liking comic books or liking video games, whatever, I can't think of a time where that wasn't cool, especially when the second anime boom happened in the 2010s. If anything, that point in time worked in my favor, because a lot of black folks who weren't into anime or anything at that time, they knew someone who was, so they would approach me and ask me, hey, what's up with Naruto? What's Attack on Titan about? I heard Dragon Ball is coming back. What's Dragon Ball Super about? If there was someone who wasn't caught up with the latest geekdom fandom news, they came to me because they knew someone who was.
You know what the other problem is, chat? And I'm about to end. We have less than 30 seconds left on this video. The other problem is that people are afraid to be themselves. They always want to have a label. Black nerd, jock, nerd, goth, emo, scene, prep. All of these stupid terms are just, first of all, I want to make a point that I don't understand why why Antonio Speaks is even making this video. You're a grown-ass man. You're not in high school anymore. So you should be past these whole, I'm going to label myself this or label myself that. The only reason to even make this video about black nerds is because you want to go back to high school and be a victim. You want to reminisce on being a victim. Like, why are you not moving forward and progressing in your life? The second thing is, why are you labeling yourself? Do you think, you know, when I say, oh, I was a black goth or a black, whatever, metalhead, that was when I was a teenager. You know, when you're a teenager, you tend to label yourself. But as an adult, I'm not labeling myself. I'm not any category. I'm just me. I'm literally just me. But the problem is that some people, especially dumb, I hate to say it, dumb people, low IQ people, love to categorize themselves. Oh, I'm actually a jock. I'm actually this. I'm actually that. Like, why don't you just be yourself? Why don't you just be yourself? But people are too afraid to be themselves. They're too afraid to stand out. They want to be part of a group. That's the problem. It's tribalism. And maybe something's wrong with me. I've never felt tribal at all. Like, I'm not a tribal nigga. If we were in a tribe, I would be the guy who's either the leader of the tribe. I'd be either the leader of the tribe or the guy who's not in the tribe at all. I'd be the guy who sneaks into the tribe at night, fucks the bitches, and steals the food. So maybe that's why this type of content just doesn't, it never vibed with me. It never vibed with me. I guess what I'm trying to say here, and I hate to use the stupid terms, the popular terms, but I guess I would be a sigma. I'm not part of any group. I don't want to be part of any group. And the groups, you know, when you're a guy like me, the groups want you to join them. People be like contacting me like, oh man, come with us, hang out with us, hang out with us, hang out with us. Even in school, I wanted to do my own thing. I didn't care if people wanted to say, oh, this guy's weird. Oh, why does he have his nails painted? You think I gave a fuck about having my, you know, the crazy thing is in the chat, people like to troll me like, oh, well, you had your nails painted black in high school and you did this and you did that. And it's like, if it didn't bother me when I was in high school, the spot where it would actually have more impact on my life because people would actually point it out, why do you think saying it now is going to affect me somehow? That doesn't even make any sense. By the way, Merry Christmas, Isabel. Hope you're having a great one. By the way, guys, I'm not streaming tonight. This is the stream. I forgot to mention that to y'all. This is the stream. You guys are watching the stream right now. I'm about to end. I'm just trying to bring home a point. I'm trying to land the plane really quick. My point here is that you have to be an independent thinker. In summary. And so, for this whole video, that's my point. You have to be an independent thinker. If you're not an independent thinker, if you let other people influence how you feel about yourself, and you know, to a certain degree, I am lying to a certain degree because all of us are impacted by how other people perceive us, right? You don't have a personality. Your personality is what other people tell you it is. It doesn't matter what you say or what you think. It doesn't matter what you believe. Your personality is literally a reflection of what other people tell you it is. So I am kind of being facetious here a tiny bit, but at the same time, I'm not, because you need to have a, you know, well-defined lines of who you want to be and who you think you are. And as a grown adult, you get to the point where you no longer care what other people think. Like if you're past the age of 25 and you're still worried and preoccupied about what people think about you and what people are saying about you, then you need to seek some real professional help. That's the truth. That's the truth. Because you should already be confident in who you are as a person. So I just find it funny and ironic when people are like, yo, Scott, you had colored nails and this and that. It's like, that's not going to affect me. How's it going to affect me?
Black Nerd specifically goes,
I know who I am.
If someone did shame me for being a nerd, it didn't make me want to question whether or not I wanted to be around other black people. I never thought that black people didn't like anything that I was into. That's just ridiculous. But even if you don't know black people who are nerds, you know at least one black person who watched Dragon Ball Z. They may not know Jack.
These people are obsessed with being black and being nerds and being in a category.
To the podium. I want y'all to give y'all experience in the comment section. Did you have a similar experience to me? Did you have a similar experience to anyone in this video? I am curious. Also, we hit 90,000 subscribers.
Anyways, this was Antonio Speaks. If anybody wants to rewatch this video on your own time, give the guy the view. The title of the video was The Truth About Black Nerds. Yes, they're very easily impressionable. The thing is, HDR Ramis, some people need to be like that. Look, I criticize this and I say I'm not that way and I'm not tribal and I'm not this and I'm not that. But the truth is that we do need people to be that way, because if people were not that way, we wouldn't have a society, right? If every single person was a critical thinker, If every single person was independent minded, if every single person thought the way I thought, we wouldn't have a society because everybody would want to be in charge. Everybody would want to be the boss. So I do see the evolutionary advantage of having a society built of people that are followers. Inherently, most people are going to be followers. That's just the truth. Not everybody can be him. So me pointing out the flaws, it really doesn't do it justice because what am I advocating for? I guess the point of making a video like this is just to express that I'm annoyed by this perspective and I'm annoyed by these takes. But the truth is that if we didn't have this tribalism, then our culture, our society, our species probably wouldn't have gotten to the point where it is right now because we'd probably all just be killing each other. Anyways, Merry Christmas, guys. I'll end it on that note, that happy note. Merry Christmas, chat.